Hello and welcome to this lesson. I'm going to show you how to install Docker for Windows. There's one thing to note with this: you can use Docker Desktop if you have Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise. If you don't, you're going to have to use something called Docker Toolbox. It's pretty much the same thing, except it works on older versions of Windows. The other thing you need to do is make sure you've got virtualization support enabled. If I go over to Google and type in Docker, and I click on Docker Desktop, you can click on Docker for Windows. Now again, as I mentioned, this will only work if you've got Windows 10 Pro or 10 Enterprise. What I'm going to do is also include a link to install Docker Toolbox. Now I'm running this from a VM on my Mac, so this won't be enabled for me. One thing you'll need to do is right click, go to Task Manager, More Details, click on Performance, and you should see, whereas in this picture here it says Virtualization Enabled. In my case, it's going to show virtual processors because I'm on a VM. Normally you can turn this on in the BIOS, and the reason for this is it's going to install VirtualBox. So further down the page, there's a link. So we'll click on this one here to Toolbox Releases. I've got it open here, and the version I'm going to use is this one here, 19.03.1. And the top one we want is this Docker Toolbox. So I've already gone ahead and downloaded it. So if I go over to my downloads and click on that, click yes, untick this. Now I've included Git for Windows because in one of the lectures I do use Git. It's optional. And then we'll click next, and we'll click next again, and click install. In my case it may fail because I am doing this from a virtual machine. But in your case, if you're doing it on a local machine, this will install without any issues. Excellent, and we'll click on finish. And what I'll also do is create those two shortcuts on your desktop. So we'll click on the quick start. And again, mine's going to complain that it doesn't have the virtualization enabled, and this is because I'm running from a VM. One last thing I recommend doing once you're set up is if you go to Google and type in Docker Hub, sign up for this because we're going to use it a bit later on throughout the course. Okay, this wraps up the installation. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.